I remember when I was in grade 7 and I was an extremely awkward kid, right? I didn't really have anything I was super passionate about. Yeah, I liked sports and I was kind of good at them, but I wasn't putting a whole bunch of time in them, right? And I remember I started music class and I got this surgery where I had to have my frenulum snipped, which is like a piece of skin on the top of your mouth here, right? Because it was coming down and pushing my teeth apart. And when I got that surgery, I had to get stitches in my mouth. And so the majority of kids in music class, they have to play like trumpet or clarinet or flute or wind instrument, right? But since the top of my lip was like glued right there, I couldn't do that. So the music teacher allowed me to try out the drums. And I started playing and I'm like, man, I love this. And throughout the whole rest of the exploratory block, I was having so much fun. And I actually lied to him and told him the stitches were gonna be in until the block was done, right? Because I didn't want to go play the trumpet, I just wanted to keep playing the drums. And I remember after the exploratory block was over, my teacher came to me. I don't remember the exact words that he said, but his message stayed clear. And that was that he really admired my work ethic and taking something that was new to me. And I could have just given up and sat in the corner like a bunch of kids would and be like, oh, I don't want to do music, da-da-da-da. But I took something that was new and it's challenging. Like, drums take a little bit of coordination to get, right? And I actually worked on it and love to do it. Fast forward 5 years later, I have been playing drums this entire time. I play live all the time. I make a bunch of money playing drums and I just love to do it, and I've pursued it so much. And if I wasn't given that compliment and thought like, oh yeah, I do work hard at this and I could actually get pretty good at this, then would I have stuck with it? Probably not. Yeah, I kind of liked it, but because he told me, I admire your work ethic and I admire the progress you've made in such a short amount of time, I'm like, I can do this. And literally that one compliment and that one experience changed the trajectory of my life, because music has become such a big part of my life. Now, we all want to get more compliments, right? It just brightens our day and they make us feel good. If someone doesn't feel good from getting a compliment, they're either being too hard on themselves or the compliment probably wasn't that good. But most of the time people love getting compliments. Instead of being so focused on getting more compliments, why don't we just start giving them? It's probably the fastest way to start making new friends and start actually cultivating some decent relationships. If we see someone who's giving compliments to all different kinds of people, then we can't help but like that person, right? Because they're spreading joy throughout other people's lives. You can't help but like someone who gives compliments to people and just makes other people's days better, right? The thing is, it takes some balls to give a compliment, and it's kind of sometimes hard to think of like a genuine compliment, but once you kind of are mindful of like, yeah, I just want to make the world a better place, you're going to start thinking of things like that you genuinely want to do. And don't go give compliments just for people to like you, right? Give genuine compliments. Don't just go up to someone and be like, oh yeah, I like your shoes and you're looking very good today. Have you lost some weight? Like, that's the kind of advice they give on YouTube. You can tell when someone gives you a fake compliment. But imagine you're in the gym and you're going like super hard on a set, right? You're taking that past failure. You're doing negative reps. And a guy who's like, he's got a decent physique. He comes like, I really admire your work ethic and I really like your energy. Like, the rest of your workout, you're gonna be working hard because this guy just came up to you and gave you like a compliment and so he appreciated your energy. And like, he didn't really have anything to gain from that. He just wanted to say something nice, right? And that's gonna make him feel good too, because he knows he did something to brighten someone else's day. A really good section of the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie, is be lavish in your praise and hearty in your approbation. This means when someone does something well, praise them for it. Be honest and tell them how much you appreciate them. It's so easy to just get used to all the things people do for us, especially like our parents. Your parents do a lot for you. They cook for you, they put food on the table, they have somewhere for you to live, and they raise you, right? It's so easy to just get in this routine and just become accustomed to what they do for you, right? But if the next time maybe your mom or someone makes you a meal, right, just tell them how much you appreciate it. Now, the truth about how to get better at it and actually give good compliments is just practice, right? You're gonna give some compliments that suck, and once you're actually trying to start doing this, you're probably gonna mess up here and there, but that's just the way it is. If you have a genuine compliment in your mind that you want to give to someone, say it. Now, the only exception, and I know a lot of guys are gonna get this wrong, it's don't just go practice with girls, right? Practice with everyone. Practice with your boys, practice with your teachers, practice with your grandparents, practice with that old person that's walking down the street that you see. Whatever compliment you feel like you should give, just give it. And the thing is, don't just compliment looks, right? A lot of guys do this with girls. They'll be like, oh, you're the most beautiful girl I've ever seen, or I really like that dress, it really looks good on you. That's a very surface level thing. If someone isn't your girlfriend or someone you're like talking to or becoming intimate with, then don't compliment their looks. It'll just save you so much more time and so much more rejection. A lot of guys, all they look for in a girl, and their standards are simply based on looks, right? If a girl kind of looks kind of nice, right, and even though they don't have the best personality, they'll still try and go for them and try and get into a relationship with them and compliment them on their looks and just obsess over them. But you really need to take a step back with this and think, if this person is someone I want to get in a relationship with, then if I can't find anything else to compliment than their looks, and I can't think of anything else, that is not a person I should be in a relationship with, because it's just such a surface level thing. It's basic. Like, that's like level 1, right? Well, level 1 is not being able to give. No, that's worse. I'd rather you not give any compliments than just compliment girls based on their looks. This is going to take some practice, and it takes some social intelligence to actually know when to give a compliment and when not to. Don't be stupid with this. Just brighten someone's day, man. Could you imagine how good it'd feel if you could compliment 5 people a day and know that you made their day probably a little bit better, and that they go home feeling happy? Maybe they were having a terrible day at work or they failed a test, but if you gave them a compliment, their life would just get better. Could you imagine having really good friends that you tell them how much you appreciate them and tell them you're grateful for them every single time you see them, and have a genuine bond with them? You don't just go and party with them or play video games with them. These are people you are closely connected with, and you have a genuine connection. And when they compliment you and you compliment them, it feels great, because this is real. This is what friendship is meant to be. This is brotherhood. These are people that you are meant to be with, and they are your tribe. And you can't help but want to see success for them, and they want to see success for you. It's just a positive feedback loop, right? And if you never complimented them or they never complimented you, it'd just be a dry, boring relationship, right? So I know it's hard to get started, and I know it feels difficult at first, but trust me when I tell you, the more you do it, the better you get and the easier it becomes. So go give some compliments.